All right, so buckle up because today we are diving headfirst into the future of Hollywood.
Sounds exciting.
It really is. We're talking all about how artificial intelligence is going to, well, kind of flip the script on how movies and shows get made.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Right. And to guide us through this, we've got a whole stack of articles from screenwriter and futurist Matt Ryan Allen.
Ah, Matt Ryan Allen. Yeah, I've seen his name pop up more and more lately. Seems like someone worth listening to on this topic.
Absolutely. And that's what I thought too, especially since he's not just, talking about AI from the sideline. He's actually using these AI tools in his own work, like really in the trenches.
Oh, wow. So we're getting insights from like a firsthand witness then.
Exactly. Someone who's seeing this whole creative and tech revolution unfold right before his eyes. So, to kick things off, one of Matt's biggest arguments is that the old Hollywood model, the way things have always been done, yeah, he's saying that's going the way of the dodo bird.
Out with the old, in with the new. Huh?
Right. Like, he uses this really striking example in one of his articles about how that classic 12-week screenplay timeline, the one they always talk about, could get crunched down to, get this, 2 weeks with the help of AI.
2 weeks? Whoa! Hold on. So we're saying AI could potentially write a screenplay in the time it takes me to decide what to binge watch. That's wild.
It is pretty mind-blowing, right? It makes you wonder what happens to all of the, screenwriters out there if the process becomes that fast.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. Are they all going to be out of jobs? Replaced by robots?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, and Matt's got a, I'd say, refreshing take on it. He doesn't necessarily see AI completely replacing writers, but rather, like, fundamentally changing how they work. Like, imagine having a co-writer who can analyze massive amounts of data and spot trends and even generate scenes, like, on demand.
So like having a brainstorming partner who's basically seen every movie and read every script ever written.
Exactly.
Okay, I kind of get it. So instead of being afraid of AI, writers could learn to use it as like this super-powered tool to make their work even better.
That's the idea. Matt argues that AI could free up writers to focus on the, I don't know, the more human elements of storytelling, like the character development, the dialogue, all the stuff that makes a story really connect with us on an emotional level.
That's pretty cool if you think about it. AI handling the technical stuff, and then the writers come in and really bring the heart and soul.
Right, and he actually uses this really interesting example. He talks about how AI could potentially suggest, like, character backstories, which is kind of crazy to think about, but he's very clear that it's still the human writer who actually brings those characters to life. So AI might provide the building blocks, but it's the human touch that really makes it all come together.
So it's all about collaboration, not competition.
Exactly, like figuring out how to use AI to push the boundaries of storytelling and creativity, which, I mean, isn't that what it's all about?
Right, okay, but that's all still kind of theoretical. Is there any, like, real-world proof that this can actually work? Like, has anyone made a good movie using AI in this way?
You read my mind. Matt actually talks about this sci-fi film, Echoes of Tomorrow, where they used AI pretty heavily throughout the whole screenwriting process.
Interesting. Was it actually any good?
That's the thing. It wasn't just good. It was actually really well received, by audiences and critics alike. And it wasn't just some cookie-cutter sci-fi flick either, from what I've read. People were praising it for having, like, an original story, compelling characters.
All the things you wouldn't necessarily expect from a movie made with AI, right?
Exactly. So it's not just hype. There's real potential here, and Echoes of Tomorrow might just be the tip of the iceberg.
Wow. Echoes of Tomorrow. Gotta check that out. It really makes you wonder what's next for AI in Hollywood.
And you're in luck because Matt dives right into that. He spends a good chunk of these articles, actually, talking about, well, basically addressing the elephant in the room, those big, kind of scary questions everyone has about AI and creativity.
No, I know exactly what you mean. Like, will robots steal all the writing jobs? Will AI just churn out the same old tired stories?
Exactly. And is it even, like, artistically valid to use AI? Is it cheating?
Big questions for sure.
Huge. But Matt tackles them head on, thankfully.
Okay, so lay it on me. What does he say?
Well, first he gets the whole, like, robots are taking over. Fear is understandable. But he doesn't see it that way, obviously. His take is more that, yeah, writers' roles are going to change, need to evolve, but it's not like they'll all be out on the streets or anything. He sees it more as this collaboration between humans and AI, like each bringing their own strengths to the table.
Collaboration over competition. I like it.
Yeah.
But what about the originality thing? That's a big one for me, Will AI be able to come up with genuinely new ideas, or are we going to be stuck with endless, AI-generated remakes.
And Matt actually flips the script on that concern.
Oh, how so?
Well, he basically says that humans are just as guilty of falling back on cliches and familiar tropes. Like, think about how many times Hollywood wants, like, the same thing but different. You know, those uninspired sequels and reboots that keep popping up.
Okay, yeah, point taken. There's definitely room for improvement when it comes to originality, even without AI.
Right. And that's where Matt sees an opportunity, actually. He thinks AI could help break those cycles of unoriginality.
Interesting. How so?
Because AI can analyze, like, mountains of data, right? He says that gives it the potential to actually help writers identify those overused tropes and then maybe even suggest, like, fresh twists or combinations of ideas that, you know, a human writer might not have thought of.
So instead of AI being the source of unoriginality,
Mm.
it could actually help us break free from it. That's kind of a cool way to look at it. But I still wonder about the human element, that spark of creativity. Isn't using AI kind of like taking a shortcut? Does that make you less of an artist?
I think that's a valid concern, and it's something Matt addresses, too. He asks this really thought-provoking question. Is a CGI animator, less than one who hand draws every single frame?
I see what he's getting at, yeah.
Right. Like, are you less of a filmmaker if you use a certain camera or editing software? He's basically arguing that tools don't diminish artistry. They just change how art is made.
It's about the vision and the storytelling at the end of the day, not necessarily the tools you use to get there.
Exactly. And to kind of drive that point home, he makes this really interesting analogy to the music world. He compares AI to, get this, sampling in hip-hop.
Oh, I like where this is going.
Right. Like, you wouldn't say a hip-hop artist who samples isn't a real musician, right?
Yeah, of course not. They're taking something that already exists and transforming it, creating something new and original from it.
And that's kind of how Matt sees AI in the world of filmmaking.
Okay, that makes sense. I never thought about it that way before.
And he even throws out this little, kind of provocative question. Are you okay with Biggie sampling, but not AI?
Ooh, good question.
It makes you think, right? Like, where do we draw the line when it comes to creativity and technology?
Totally. This is way more nuanced than I initially thought. But I do have one more big concern, actually, even bigger than originality or AI replacing writers.
Okay, I'm listening.
What about the legal stuff? Copyright infringement, all of that? It seems like AI could open up a whole new can of worms in Hollywood.
And you are not wrong. Matt actually dedicates a good portion of one of his articles to this very topic. And get this, he actually thinks copyright might not even be the biggest legal battle AI ignites.
Oh, what's bigger than copyright in Hollywood? Isn't that like their bread and butter?
He thinks it's trademark, actually.
Trademark. Okay, now you have to break that down for me. I always get those two mixed up. What makes trademark such a big deal when it comes to AI?
Okay, you said trademark, and I have to admit, I'm a little fuzzy on the difference.
Yeah, it can be confusing. So basically, copyright protects a specific work, like a screenplay or a song, right? But trademark, that's all about protecting a brand's identity. Think like iconic characters, logos, even those distinctive visual styles or catchphrases, those elements that make a brand instantly recognizable.
Okay, so you're saying AI could create something that might not technically be copying a copyrighted work, but it could still, like, capture the essence of a brand, the feel of it.
Exactly. And that's where things get really dicey for Hollywood. Because think about it, a franchise like Star Wars, it's not just about the characters or the story, right? It's that whole universe George Lucas built.
Oh, totally. Like the lightsabers, the sound of those TIE fighters, even just the way the characters talk, it all adds up to something bigger.
Right. And those elements, they're like gold to these studios.
Yeah.
So if AI can replicate those even subtly, that's when the lawyers are going to really come out to play.
Makes sense, yeah. Those trademarks are worth a fortune. But honestly, this is making me think beyond the legal battles. If AI can get that good at capturing the essence of a brand, what does that even mean for the future of storytelling? Are we going to need original ideas anymore, or will it just be like AI-generated versions of stuff we already know?
It's a question a lot of people are asking, for sure. But Matt actually takes this conversation in a slightly different direction. Talks about how, while everyone's focused on Netflix and Disney and all those big players, the real winner in this whole AI game might actually be YouTube.
YouTube? Wait, I thought we were talking about Hollywood, like movies with massive budgets and those global franchises. What's YouTube got to do with all this?
See, that's the thing. Matt argues that YouTube's more than just, cat videos and makeup tutorials. He sees it as this huge hub for learning, for communities to form, and most importantly, the place where younger generations are actually going to consume and interact with content.
I mean, I've definitely gotten sucked down a YouTube rabbit hole or two or 20 in my time.
Exactly. And he even talks about how his own kids, they don't even really register traditional celebrities anymore. Their heroes are YouTubers, online personalities, those content creators who are constantly putting themselves out there, pushing boundaries.
Yeah, it's true. The way we consume entertainment, it's changed so much, even in the past couple of years. And traditional media can feel kind of, I don't know, passive. Like you watch a show, maybe you tweet about it, but that's kind of it.
And that's where Matt sees YouTube really capitalizing.
Hmm.
He thinks they're tapping into that desire for a more active, engaging viewing experience. Plus, get this, he throws out this stat. YouTube has more logged in monthly users than Netflix and Disney combined.
Wow. Okay, that's a big audience. But I still don't see where AI fits into all of this. I mean, what makes YouTube any different from traditional studios when it comes to AI kind of shaking things up?
Matt thinks AI is going to empower YouTube creators even more, give them the tools to make, edit, and share their content at a scale and speed we haven't really seen before. And because YouTube is already built on that constant innovation and audience interaction, he thinks they're in the perfect position to, really ride this wave of AI-powered content.
So it's like this perfect storm. YouTube has the audience, the platform, and now AI gives them the tools to completely dominate the future of how we watch stuff. Wow, this is a lot to wrap my head around. We've gone from robots writing scripts to trademark wars to now YouTube being the future of entertainment.
And we haven't even gotten to Matt's final takeaway.
Oh, there's more. Okay, I'm on the edge of my seat here. Lay it on me. What's the big takeaway? What does Matt see as the ultimate impact of all of this on Hollywood and how stories are told?
He believes that Hollywood, as we know it, is about to be completely transformed by AI. And it's not just about how movies get made, but also what kinds of stories get told and who those stories are even for. He's saying this is a revolution that's already happening, and those studios, they're playing catch up.
Okay, you said completely transformed, and I gotta admit, that's a little, I don't know, a little scary. Is Hollywood as we know it just gonna disappear? Will robots be the ones telling us stories from now on?
He doesn't go quite that far.
Mm.
But Matt does see a future where AI is like deeply woven into every part of making movies. I'm talking from the very first idea for a script all the way to those big marketing campaigns that get us in the theater seats.
So not just AI writing the scripts, but AI shaping what those special effects look like, maybe even predicting what audiences want to see before we even know it ourselves.
Exactly. Like imagine AI being used to create special effects that are so real, so mind-blowing, that we can experience things on screen that we never thought possible.
That's kind of exciting, actually.
Right. Or picture this. AI tools that can analyze hours and hours of footage to help editors find the most compelling, most emotionally resonant way to tell a story.
Okay, yeah, I'm seeing the potential here. But then there's that other side, right? Like, what happens if algorithms are the ones deciding what movies get made just based on what they think will make the most money? Will we end up with every movie feeling the same, just designed to appeal to the widest possible audience?
And that's a huge concern, for sure. It's that classic tension between art and commerce, but like amplified to the max by AI.
Right. So how do we balance that potential for incredible innovation with, making sure we don't lose the heart and soul of what makes a film special?
And that brings us to Matt's final point, the thing he really wants us to sit with after reading his work. This future with AI shaping our stories, it's not something that's just happening to us. It's something we're actively creating through all the choices we make every day.
Wait, what do you mean? What kind of choices?
Every time you like a video, click on a recommendation. Even if you just spend an extra minute watching something, you're feeding data into these algorithms.
Oh, right. It's like we're all training the AI, even when we're just trying to unwind after a long day.
Exactly. And those algorithms, they're learning from us. They're using that data to try to figure out what we find entertaining, what we connect with, what keeps us coming back for more.
So we're not just passive viewers anymore. We're active participants in this whole evolution of storytelling. Every click, every view, it's like we're casting a vote for the kind of content we want to see more of in the world.
And that's a powerful realization because it means we have more agency than we might think. It's our responsibility to be more mindful about what we consume, to search out diverse voices, to support the creators who are pushing those boundaries. If we don't, who knows, maybe those algorithms will just decide for us what the future of storytelling is going to look like.
Wow, that's a lot to think about. But you're right, it's a conversation we need to be having. So what's the verdict? AI? Is it going to be the hero or the villain of Hollywood's next chapter?
Like any good movie, there are no easy answers, no clear-cut good guys or bad guys. It's messy, it's complex, but that's what makes it interesting, right? AI has the potential to be an incredible tool to push creative boundaries, to connect us to stories in ways we never thought possible. But it's up to us, as creators and as consumers, to make sure it doesn't become a force that limits our choices, that homogenizes our stories.
This has been an amazing deep dive. Matt's insights are definitely going to stay with me for a while.
Same here. It's a whole new world out there, and like they say in the movies, the possibilities are endless.
Thanks for joining us on this journey into the world of AI and Hollywood. Remember, the future of storytelling, it's in your hands. Until next time.